Hey, so wanted to record this quick video and showcase just how much of an absolute freaking unit these characters can become. Now, I don't think I'm playing the game as it's supposed to be. I have only gone through one character, and I really like exploring and hitting every single node. Like I'm pretty neurotic about it. I haven't gotten to hit all of them. There are some places that are really tough to navigate to, but I'm at that point in the game where I've done most things that are available in my world. It does look like I'm missing a couple of pieces, like I'm missing two of the clans, and then I could not find the bathing giants anywhere. So I haven't been through every single lake and puddle that's out there, but yeah, those are some of the things I'm missing. So before I go into the first valley and explore what that's all about, just wanted to showcase a quick little video just in case my character dies of just how much you can stack when wandering around. So what you're looking at here is about 250 plus spirit pearls. The my main weapon is a sword that have two form sigils in, as well as a flow sigil. It gives me the ability to get harmonic or perfect form, which gives me excellence when I kill an enemy with more than 10 health. Big damage, 11 to 16. Chance of +3 damage, and then on top of that, I have the weapon grip skill, which decreases my encumbrance. It took me almost the entire game to finally find some heavy armor. And it was kind of funny because by the time I did find the heavy armor, I found like three of them. So now I'm stocked up. It was real sad because I actually got one early in the game that I just didn't fully appreciate that armor can be completely destroyed. And unfortunately, I was doing some runs in the spirit world. And yeah, my armor just got totally wrecked. And then it was basically the entire game until I found another piece. So I have two pieces of armor. One of them reduces 8 damage but doesn't have any sigil slots. I got this guy because it gives me some fire resistance as well as root resistance, which is great because those root trees can be really annoying. Now, granted, I also have got a bunch of rings. So once I got to a point where I was able to, have way more bartering ability than anything else, it got to where I really just didn't have to worry too much about bartering. I mean, I've got 5 pieces of Magentol, like 12 different meringue coins, and a bunch of pretty much everything. Look at the enchanting beads. These are my favorite for trades. So I keep 2 rings of protection. It's great if you take the Magentol nugget, bring it to the Forge of Destiny, and then you can turn those into Magentol rings. The Magentol rings are nice because they're legacy, and they make it to where the first form sigil counts as double. So that gives you the ability to pretend against any physical attack for 5 seconds. So when you got 2 of those on, you can also get ferocious and strong, which increases your damage even more. I keep a fire protection ring with me, so that way, whenever I'm going through some tougher areas, I can reduce damage from heat and steam. I keep this ring with me to give me minor invisibility, as well as one free social test in case there's some situation I need that. I keep a water walking ring with me, so I can pretty easily get around caves and navigate those easily. And then I just have a crap ton of other rings that I keep with me for trading and stuff. Lock picks for days. You just use those for trading. I've been keeping a lot of the scrolls. I found that these are actually pretty hard to farm. There is some challenges I found. So I've got these scrolls for veterans memoir. They're supposed to gain one major valorous deed. Unfortunately, I have not found a way to use it. I've tried equipping it. I've tried using it here. I've tried putting in this treasure chest, closing the chest, opening the chest, getting back in. Nothing I do seems to work. And also have the minor daring deed equivalent Forester's Guide, and that also does not seem to work. So I don't know if it's because I've already maxed myself out or what the situation is there. I find that some of uh, the most useful scrolls are metallic speech. This will open up any door, so that way, then if there's some doors that even with a lock pick +2 or even +3 lock pick, they can still be really hard to get through. So having metallic speech is super useful, and I'd say the most useful scroll if you see a guy trading this is a Song of Entrance. Command a nearby gate to open. Because there's sometimes that maybe the area is bugged, or maybe the key is really well hidden, or perhaps it's just something where there's some major obstacle that's a total pain to get around, and you can increase your survivability by using the Song of Entrance. So yeah, I keep a lot of these other ones just in case. I haven't found myself using them very much, especially like the ones with the undead. I kind of could see how they use it, but I think undead are broken in my game because I can have a bunch of immortals that no matter how many times I kill them, they don't go away from the map. I've got an actual whack ton of potions as well. Just every single time I get a chance, I buy more of them. I was surprised to see that I have almost no like major volcanic type areas. So I haven't had to use the heat resistance, but I figure maybe in the first valley I'll need to. But it's a forest, so I'm not sure. More than 100 of the refreshing liqueurs. So these are really useful to get around. I found them absolutely necessary when navigating level 3 environments because like there's two areas on my map where I get desolate if I try to, or the desolate, so I become miserable if I camp anywhere, and then sometimes misery just happens in places. Now this doesn't fix misery, but it can help mitigate that chance. So yeah, I just showed this because one of the things I liked about this game was seeing what kind of stuff is there to collect, what kind of different play styles are there, and what might it look like if a character was just an absolute Chad and tanked out to the gills. And so in this case here, I think this is pretty much what it looks like. As far as the shield, I've got the servitor shield from the form elemental, and then at some point I forgot where I found this, but it was a Magental War Axe, and I found that that is just the best two-handed weapon because I can just swing this thing around, get pretty much an area of effect, just massive damage between 15 and 22. It's pretty ridiculous. It's almost an unfair advantage when using this kind of stuff. And then with the weapon grip, I'm able to get it to where it only takes an encumbrance of 2. Let me see. I'll go over to my bulky items while I'm here. So yeah, at the moment, I'm looking at going to the first valley. I really don't feel that confident about survivability in the first valley, even though I've got all this stuff. What I'm looking for is I know it's a forest. I'm wanting to find another cold weather gear. These have actually turned out to be pretty rare in my game. I burned through them in the early part of the game because I thought they would be pretty common to find, but I've wandered the entire world twice, and I haven't found any more. So I'm thinking of having a stack kind of like this, a spirit wand with air sigils, so that way I can cast lightning. I like these because it does 12 damage, pretty big on a ranged impact in a straight line, so it's pretty easy to charge. I have it doubles because I'm attuned to sky magic. Of course, I've got that sword, 11 plus damage. I've got a normal braided jacket, nothing too fancy here. I carry this with me because even though it does less damage reduction, it makes it to where I don't have an encumbrance because it's light. And then here is a clan warrior armor. This is nice because it makes it to where I'm able to reduce fire damage and form damage. Where usually, if it doesn't have some kind of sigil double effect, you're only left with one. Um, Cold weather gear because it looks like there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of that out there. A verdant cloak because it's a forest in the first valley. Rat skin boots of 5. That seems to be the best that can be offered. Haven't found a bedroll of 4, but if I do, I'll definitely make sure to nab that. And then I wasn't sure if I should get the tent because I'm not confident that I can even rest in the first valley. But I thought I'd rather bring it with me than not. And then I am going to stack myself up and make it to where I have 4 additional items. I'm not sure exactly what those will be. Probably things such as cold weather gear and yeah, to be frank, I'm really not sure what exactly it is that I'll be taking with me. I do have the sun egg as well to help to fight against cold out there. So, all in all, I'd be curious to see if anybody else wants to make this a trend and share what your character looks like. That'd be pretty awesome. I'd be curious to see what you guys are up to and what kind of play styles you guys find is fun to experiment with. And I guess as a final piece to this, I'll showcase what my map looks like. So that'd be interesting to find out as well. What kind of map styles are people working with? It's exciting. I just started a new world. I'm actually going to begin live streaming and posting the videos on YouTube. Recorded my first video yesterday, but it's super buggy. It's terrible and pretty cringe. I think I will still post it just because it's so bad. It'd be pretty interesting to just to share. At the same time, I'm going to re-record. Hopefully, this software is a little bit more smooth, so that way I can get a better experience. I notice in this world, things don't get attacked as often, though the Imperial forces have started to expand. That's going to be one thing I do before I go into the First Valley, just because right now it's still winter time in the First Valley, and that looks absolutely treacherous. So instead, I'm just going to go to Imperial land, see if I can clap some of these guys, and then bounce over to the first valley after recovering. But yeah, so that is about it. I guess the only main challenge I've faced out here is these guys out here. No matter what happens, um, these immortals do not die. They don't go anywhere. The Sand Rider clan, they do their best to kill them, and they never win. And so when the immortals come over here, they really do just wreck stuff. So hopefully that's not going to be a challenge in the next playthrough. The next world looks pretty hard, actually. It looks pretty challenging, but also looks pretty fun. It's got more clans, and hopefully it's going to have some more of those items. I haven't explored the mountains here much in the middle, just because I found that it gets cut off. There's places I'm not able to get to. So there are a bunch of lakes up here that maybe that's where the bathing giants are at, but I hadn't found any clues or hints about it. And on top of that, it's pretty treacherous to go through this area, so I haven't been able to explore it as much as I wanted to. Only feedback I'd give is that there are different play styles. I think that the frequency of how often things attack, if that could be tuned somehow during world creation, that'd be a super useful feature. It'd be nice to be able to make it to where for those who like to play the game and really explore each of the nodes and understand what are the differences, and kind of experience each of the regions. It'd be great to not be so damaged by the amount of time it takes for us to explore. Anyways, so it's very, very minor feedback. This game's amazing. I gotta say that I have been in a shell where I've been just watching video games being played for the better part of the last decade. And I haven't really dove into playing anything myself really since high school. And this game inspired me to do so. It's something that I've always thought of just as a dream of procedural world generation. I wanted something that's immersive. I always loved the open world concept and the exploration behind MMOs like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars. And inside of this game, I see that I get a nice taste of that in a way that I can control my time. I'm able to get in, get out, experience all sorts of random circumstances, and really have that sense of survivability, that sense of meaning whenever I'm able to go and smack a really difficult ruin, or wipe out some ancestral spirits, or find a beefy piece of armor that's slightly better than my last. And now, because of that, I've increased my survivability. I guess the other challenge that I really, really do wish was different, it's a pretty bad mechanic in my opinion, is the Imperial turret things. So there's these Imperial turrets that, like, they shoot out three different blasts of this yellow magic, and when it hits you, it causes damage and takes away three hits. And because these shoot out in bursts of three, and it can shoot them constantly, you can lose like six hope just in an instant. And I understand that if these things are supposed to sometimes make it to where you can go inside of the rift, and then once inside the rift, you can get awakened by killing the box dude, and then when you get out, you can close the rift and everything is good to go. The challenge is that there's no indication of which turret actually makes it to where you're able to go inside of the rift. And if that's just a mechanic that's meant to be really difficult because maybe you're supposed to avoid the Imperials or something, that's fine. But like, give a scroll, perhaps. Like a scroll that's able to make you go into awakened status, and maybe that scroll is just super duper rare or really expensive to trade for. So that way, it's like there's just some nuancy, seemingly random item that doesn't seem to be that useful, but actually turns out to be. I mean, where I'm at is I'm thinking, do I just need to go take the Volker's blade, go smack a mouse somewhere, eat the three hope damage, but then get the awakened status? I don't really know. That's what I'm leaning towards at the moment, and maybe that is the solution. But it is something where it's just pretty non-intuitive, very treacherous, and definitely a sad, sad day to have to lose everything potentially. I didn't lose everything, but I almost did because of that. And yeah, that wouldn't have been a great experience. At the same time, though, again, super minor, hyper specific. Hope you've enjoyed listening to this. I am now rambling, so thank you so much for taking the time. Hope you all have a great day wherever you are in the world. Until next time.